Internet, Eric here. I'm continuing my, I guess you say, journey through the world of Hammer horror, specifically Dracula. I've already discussed Horror of Dracula, recently discussed Brides of Dracula, and we're now getting back into Christopher Lee territory, Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 1966. Basic plot is we're following two couples. I cannot get past the fact that one of the couples is Charles and Diana. I believe they're on vacation or they're traveling cross country, and excuse me, they take a break at a pub or a diner or restaurant, whatever you want to call it. They meet this priest. They tell the priest their plans. He tells them to stay away from Castle Dracula, I guess you would say. The castle is not on the map. We would have seen it. Stay away from the castle. You know, the whole cliche that we've seen before. What the hell is that on my hat? Anyways, I don't edit things. Eventually, they get about halfway to where they want their destination. The driver basically says, fuck off, won't take them any further. Then, mysteriously, a driverless horse-drawn carriage picks them up. They go where they want to go. They end up at Castle Dracula, where I love how creepy it is. There's a butler who we didn't see in Horror of Dracula, but there are, the table is set for 4 people, and eventually Dracula is brought back, and they have to defend themselves. Simple plot. Really enjoyed this film. Not as much as Horror of Dracula, but I'll get why. First off, the two couples. The non-Charles and Diana, they're all 4 of these actors are good. Actors and actresses are really good. I like Charles and Diana more, probably because they're in the movie a lot more. But everyone has great chemistry. You can tell they all care about each other. The non-Diana, I guess you would say female, she's more of the fearful character. Like, she knows something's up. She's the one that's always screaming. But all 4 of these characters are really good. I really like the actor who plays the priest. We first see him, I think he's stopping I guess you'd say a funeral, and then how would you say it? The people who are doing the funeral, they think she's a vampire and they're going to stake her type of thing. He stops that. He's very big. He seems very menacing, but he knows what he's doing. He's a good guy. He's got great rapport with everyone, especially the two couples from beginning to end. Liked him a lot. The character who plays, I guess you'd say, Dracula's butler, really good. He's mainly presence. You know what I mean? He's there to be dignified. No, when they ask him, did you have these places set up for us? My count always wants me to have this place set out for guests, type of thing. So he does a really good job being creepy, and when he starts the killing, he's really good at it. You have a Renfield type character. He's Renfield because he eats a fly. He's fine. Now let's get to Christopher Lee. Here's the thing. I loved him in Horror of Dracula. He's really good in this, but he doesn't say a fucking word. And I think this is the movie. I know one of the Dracula films, he hated the dialogue so much he refused to say a word. So the only thing he does here is yell when he dies. But he's still intimidating. The fucker's I know he's over 6 feet tall. It's all presence. He's very menacing. So he does his job. I just wish he would have actually said something. But he's a great actor. He must have known better if the dialogue was shit or not. But yeah, he does his thing. He's, seducing women and chucking them aside when he's done with them, just like we saw in the original movie. I liked how this started out. Like, we had a recap of the Van Helsing Dracula final confrontation from Horror of Dracula, because Christopher Lee's not in this, or Peter Cushing's not in this one. There is no Van Helsing. But that's okay, because I like who we have. I mean, Peter Cushing is Peter Cushing, but I like who we have here. The gore, Hammer horror, they up the gore factor that we're used to, or fans were used to, from the 30s and 40s from Universal. There's a decent staking of a vampire here. The butler, when he takes out the non-Charles character, he bashes him over the head, knocks him out, and then he chains him up. He chains his feet, and then he hangs him. You know, he pulls these chains, and so the non-Charles character is hanging upside down over Dracula's coffin. You know what I mean? It's because if you remember, Van Helsing killed him by opening the curtains, and Dracula burnt up into nothing but ash. So in the coffin is ash, and the guy's throat is slit. We don't see the violence, but we see the blood pouring down. We see the blood pouring into the coffin, onto the ash. And for 1966, this is really good. I don't know how they did it. You know, kind of like what they did, I guess you would say, in The Wolfman, how, you know, they just take one, they film one scene, and then they cut, and then whatever next happens, they film, cut, you know, that type of, I guess you would say, editing. And it just shows the ashes turn to a skeleton. Dracula comes up, looks badass. I like how they have to make, kind of like what Cushing did in Horror of Dracula, makeshift weapons. You know, they find out. I like when the non-Diana character has been turned, and she's struggling. Her and Dracula are struggling in pouncing on Charles and Diana, and as she is struggling with Diana, Diana's wearing a crucifix. And you hear this now vampire scream, and you see she's got a crucifix burned in her forearm from that. And that gets Charles' gears turning. He's like, okay, let's do it. He gets 2 swords, makes them as a crucifix to ward off Dracula so they can escape the castle. Love that. Again, the creativity. It's like going back to From Dusk Till Dawn. All you need to do is put 2 sticks together, you know. Yeah, Peter Cushing does it all the time. Loved that. What else did I really enjoy? A lot of this is really good. Dracula didn't show up for like maybe 50 minutes into the film. But for me, the pacing is really good. Getting to know these characters, the mystery of, sure, okay, they just happen to have the dinner table set, you know, with 4 places. But the bags are missing, and they end up specifically being placed into the rooms where they're supposed to be, the couples together. You know, the mystery, where is this going? It kept me intuitive, I don't know what if that's right. It kept me interested into seeing where this would go. I liked when we finally got the priest from the beginning now back into the game, and this final confrontation with Charles fighting Dracula on the moat of the castle, but it's frozen, so they're fighting on ice. And then up, they got the high ground, the priest and Diana, and the priest says running water. You know what I mean? And I do know vampire lore changes all the fucking time, but I do know one of the things is vampires cannot cross running water. And I don't know if that's what he's triggering in his mind, but again, with the creativity, I love how he's got a shotgun or a rifle, and now he's shooting out the frozen ice or the frozen water. You know what I mean? The ice that they're fighting on. So it's breaking up while Charles and Dracula are fighting on it. Again, the creativity. Charles gets away, and then we have Dracula slowly falling into the water, screaming this really good scream from Christopher Lee. I'm kind of iffy on Dracula drowning, but I'm going to give points for the creativity and just the way the priest handled the situation. I'm a little disappointed that it just kind of ends. Like, I mean, that's kind of how the last one did. And then the one before that, you know, because this is the 3rd film. They just kind of just, boom, he's dead. That's it. Cut the credits right away. But I got to say, really enjoyed this one. This had a lot of hype. I have a bunch of friends that are fans of Hammer Horror. I have a bunch of friends that are huge fans of Christopher Lee. I really like this one. I still think Horror of Dracula is my favorite so far. I can't wait to get into the next film. I don't know what that is, but I do have Scars of Dracula on Blu-ray. I don't know if I'm just going to discuss that one or if I'm going to find the other ones first. But Dracula, Prince of Darkness, do recommend it. Great performances. Again, love the couples. I love the set design is so good, man. The set design, the music, everything is really good in this film. I just wish that Christopher Lee spoke. I think that would have helped a lot, but it doesn't really take away from the good that's in this. Some really decent gore, creepy performances by that butler. I really like the couples. The scene where Dracula cuts his chest and makes the woman drink. Ooh, that was really cool. Highly recommend 1966's Dracula, Prince of Darkness. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. All that stuff. Comment below. Where does this one sit in your rankings, I guess you would say, of the Hammer horror films? Does it get better? Does it get worse? I don't know. I can't wait to find out. Shocktober is coming up. 13 films, 13 uploads, one per day from the 19th to the 31st. God help me. I'm going to do it. But as of this recording, I'll probably have one more video. This is Saturday. I'll probably have one more video up. And then Wednesday, between 7 and 8 p.m. Central Time, we're saying 7:30, I will have Dr. Redacted, Deathmatch Wrestler, being interviewed on my channel live. That will be great. And then on the 19th, even though I'm doing a Shocktober video, Frenzy and I are getting back together. We're doing a monster bash, we're calling it. We're just getting together, discussing spooky things. We're going to have some guests on, which will be a lot of fun. And then I think it is the 25th. I will have another wrestler on being interviewed, Calvin Coco, the Modern Man, WCPW Tag Team Champion. And we'll see where we go from there. So thank you to what... I'm always stumbling by the end of these videos. You know how it is. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. All that jazz. Check out my videos. Thank you to everyone who watched the dedication video I did to Roger over at Channel Dawnstar. He will be missed a lot. And I meant every word I said. So thank you to everyone that has watched and shared that video. It meant a lot. And I always think of him when I think of Hammer Horror now. So cheers, everybody.